Good morning, everybody, and a happy Monday morning. We have a lot to cover. My goodness, it's amazing how much can come out in just a couple of days. But before we jump into that, let me touch on one little thing. This subscriber of mine asked, had I looked for battery-operated fans while the power outage was going on, that she said she has ones. Well, let me tell you, I told my husband if I wasn't sleeping, he wasn't sleeping. So he has this whole Ryobi system. So he bought me this fan. This is what I use to keep cool at night while we were sleeping. There you go. There's a lot to cover. We have multiple stories, so I've split this into two videos. We're going to start with Harry, then we're going to work into this massive PR push that's going on. Harry and Meghan are losing another employee, and there's been a massive update in Harry's lawsuit against the Sun. So there's a lot to cover on this day. By the way, this is day 10 without power. Oh, here we go. We're going to start off with the fact that Harry is in Lesotho, remember, while Meghan remains in California. Now, this trip, along with everything else, is being very carefully crafted. They're putting out only specific images. I'm sure Harry has to approve them before they're put out. And a lot of them show Harry with local community members and Simpsonville partners. They're looking at initiatives that are supposed to help people in the region and improve their lives, PR stuff. Harry looked at some climate change projects that supposedly were going on. They met some women that learned how to do hair and make dresses to help support themselves, more PR stuff. I'm telling you, this is being very carefully crafted with the pictures and what's being written and what's being allowed to be known outside of the circle of this trip. And they made sure that everything that came out was positive and it was fabulous. You get it. So on Thursday, Harry started wrapping up his trip to South Africa, and he went to Johannesburg. And so he met up with stakeholders, strategic partners, business leaders, and they had a reception and a panel discussion on, quote, empowering young people and closing the digital divide. Are you kidding? Now, during this event, he apparently called on global leaders to, quote, create a platform for young voices, and spoke about how, regional solutions were needed for key issues. And he said, and I'm quoting, I've made it one of my life's missions to create a platform for young voices. And we have seen time and time again that young voices, when they are listened to, have the solutions. Who the hell writes him this stuff? It's just word salad. It's gobbledygook. One of the things that bothers me about this charity is you never hear anything about Simpsonville from Harry when he's not there. He doesn't fundraise for it. He doesn't advocate for it. He doesn't do anything for it. It just runs. And then when he needs good PR, he hops on a plane and, runs over there so he can be running around trying to get good PR. And don't forget that his name in Simpsonville means the warrior. Ugh. It is the exact same thing with Well Child. He doesn't talk about it. He doesn't fundraise for it. He doesn't advocate for it. He just shows up once a year to get accolades and look like the star. And then he leaves, and you won't hear another word out of his mouth about Well Child till it's time for him to show up and talk to the kids again. This is nothing but a very carefully crafted PR move. I've told you that before, and we're going to get a little bit into that more, not only for him, it's not only a PR move for him, but also for Meghan Markle. Now, one of my subscribers wrote that they're from South Africa, and there is nothing about him being there on the local news, that nobody there cared about him or his visit, which I can see that. Harry's PR people are putting out pieces like this saying that Harry's recent solo visits have received nothing but positive feedback, which is a massive relief for Harry. Listen, it doesn't take a genius to see what's going on. He's going around now. He's doing what he used to do. He's engaging with people, and he's giving them awards rather than receiving awards. He doesn't have Meghan there taking up the spotlight for pushing him to the back. And so they feel like he's deflecting from all of his failures, and he's trying to gain positive PR. And don't forget that this positive PR is supposed to trickle down to Meghan Markle, so you guys will soften on her as well. Harry's unpopularity, that he's taking it very hard. He faces a fading A-lister friendships. His friendships with all of these big people are just going down the toilet. He's attempting to repair his public image, and that's why he's going around making all of these public appearances without Meghan in attendance. As far as Harry's friendships goes, don't forget he supposedly was good friends with George Clooney. Well, you guys should know that on the same day that Harry appeared with Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show, George Clooney was throwing his huge humanitarian awards ceremony, but Harry didn't go there because Harry wasn't given an invitation. And let's also not forget that Johnny Hornsby, who was a big, ally for Harry and Meghan, stepped down from Harry's charity and is now working with Jeremy Clarkson, who has been a high-profile critic of Meghan Markle's. What Harry is trying to do is cement his position as a serious player on the international stage. But I got to be honest, I don't think it's going to work because every time Harry sits down, all he spills is word salad. He has no training in the background of any of these things that he's talking about. So how can anybody take him seriously? It's like Travelist, but yet he takes private jets. And here is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Prince Harry sat down to discuss purpose and, quote, finding your flow with a former basketball star, and he did it for Better Up. I want you to really think about this. The article says that Harry sat down with this man to discuss purpose, performance, and productivity. This man who really has no purpose in his life, this man who only works an hour a week per his own tax documents, and performance, this is a man who admits to using drugs. This is also a man who has absolutely no training in mental health, who himself has severe mental health issues, and who has been in therapy basically for 10 years and still can't get over the death of his mother. Yeah, he's the perfect person to talk about mental health. Whew. Now, when this trip is over, you would think Harry would be rushing back to Meghan and the children, but apparently no, he's extending his trip. They're saying that he's going to be heading back to Johannesburg and Cape Town for, quote, private time with family and friends. It's another secret visit, which has been kept out of the diary. That's also been planned. But keep in mind that the Spencers have a home in Cape Town, and apparently he has some friends on that side of the world. So maybe he's still looking for some space from Meghan. In the meantime, in order to get some positive PR without doing a pap walk, Meghan's friends have come to the rescue. Again, I showed you this the other day. Author Lindsay Jill Roth reflects on love, friendship, and Meghan Markle. Like, anybody gives two craps about how the two of them met or their friendship, okay? Well, then the next one came out. Mindy Kin compares herself to Meghan Markle while cooking the best thing she ever made in a new video. Do you guys get what's going on here? I'm going to bet that this girl is on Meghan's cooking show because she's not even cooking Meghan's recipe, nor is Meghan's show even out. I mean, we know what's going on here. And then Nacho comes out and he talks about, one of the matches that he's doing, the history of the Will Rogers Park, and his new Netflix docuseries Polo with Prince Harry. Really, guys? Seriously? This is what they're doing now to promote themselves. They're getting their friends to give articles and name drop them. All right, you guys, that is the end of part 1. You don't want to miss part 2 with the red dress. So go down into the description box after you've left your comments and click on the link and follow me over. Let's go.